There are many attempts to explain consciousness. Some people think it emerges from matter. Others think consciousness is fundamental. Some split reality into mind and matter and leave it at that. I've spent quite some time to think about these ideas. And the annoying thing is, I can see something compelling in almost all of them. But they all leave me with the same problem. A problem I have never managed to get rid of. How exactly does subjective experience fit into reality? Not behavior, not intelligence, not information processing. Experience itself. The fact that there is something it feels like to be you, right now. Because if we're honest, the standard answer is still we don't know. And sometimes I think we hide that fact behind increasingly sophisticated descriptions, like computation, information integration, emergence, or functional state. And that's all fine. But none of these things seem to explain why there is an experience attached to any of it. They explain what consciousness does, but not what consciousness is. And I think this distinction matters. Because matter, as physics currently describes it, is astonishingly good at being matter, but nothing more. It has mass, charge, spin, momentum, but nowhere to be found the color red or the taste of coffee or sadness. And this is where I start to lose patience with strict materialism. Not because it explains too little, but because it explains almost everything, except the one thing I'm actually interested about. Experience itself. I mean, take a rock. A rock doesn't seem conscious. Maybe it's a matter of complexity. Yeah, let's take a fridge. But a fridge also doesn't seem conscious. And the question I'm really trying to ask here is, at what point exactly does a first-person perspective appear? At what point does reality suddenly say, congratulations, you are now self-aware? And the usual answer is emergence. But emergence sometimes feels like a word that does two completely different jobs. Sometimes it explains things. A hurricane can emerge. A traffic jam can emerge. And that's fine. But consciousness feels different. Because a hurricane or traffic jam are remaining physical. Consciousness, on the other hand, is the one case where people seem to casually smuggle subjective experience into the universe and then act if nothing unusual happened. I don't know if they're right, but I don't think the gap is as small as people pretend. And the more I thought about it, the more I started wondering whether we might be asking the wrong question entirely. Maybe consciousness doesn't need to be produced. Maybe that's the mistake. Maybe consciousness is not something that matter creates. Maybe it's more like matter creates the conditions under which consciousness can remain stable. And those are very different ideas. And that thought led me somewhere strange. Imagine two rooms laying next to each other. Each room has a person living inside of it. Each room is a complete world. The people inside know nothing about the other room. As far as they are concerned, the room is reality. These two rooms share a wall, but not a solid brick wall, rather a flexible one, like a thick plastic foil. Whenever something presses against the wall in one room, the wall bends in the other. Now imagine that person A leans against this wall and therefore it starts to bend. How would person B experience this deformation of the wall? Because an effect appears, but the cause seems to be missing. A person living inside one room could spend an entire lifetime searching for explanations, mapping every corner, measuring every detail, and still never find the true source. Not because they are missing something, but because they are searching in the wrong room. And that idea got stuck in my head. What if consciousness and physical reality are related like that? Not as two separated universes, not as mind creating matter, not as matter creating mind, but as two different domains connected through topological structure. And I'm not claiming certainty. But the more I thought about it, the harder it became to ignore. Because if something like that were true, then a lot of questions would suddenly look very different. Like sleep, mental illness, addiction, even artificial intelligence. the question what a living being actually is. And that is where things start to get interesting. Because if consciousness isn't produced, then what exactly allows it to persist? That is the question we'll explain next time. And the question eventually leads me to something I call a Mulde. And that's a story for another video. Auf Wiedersehen.